And Mark, this hero is just ridiculous right now, and I love seeing it. You know, one of the most simple heroes in Dota. You have what, one real active spell, and it just does so much for you. It's just ridiculous.
It's kind of insane. Especially if you drag the game out long enough and get a Giant's Ring and an Aghanim Scepter. That's when things get really fun. See if Liquid could drag it out that long, though. We'll see. Game's just about to start. Thunder Predator trying to get in position for the bottom bounty runes. It's like Tiger already trying to get a D ward, but a nice deny there from Leo Style. And I think Leo might even know where Tiger's ward is. There's a lot of value for Leo if he gets a sentry out.
30 seconds to battle.
He does have the sentry and obs ward to D ward, so already he should be able to get quite a bit of XP.
Yeah, it's a great start, just getting that deny off, evens out the control of mid, as you mentioned. Side of Liquid, they're probably just going to go for those runes. No big scuffle coming out here, so not as much potential, again, just dodging each other out. Have to watch out for the mid matchup. You do have the DP mid here for Leo Style. It does have some ways of clearing out the wave. It can hold steady, but up against a puck, I think Mickey should have a better time in the matchup. Again, they took out the Void Spirit, picked it themselves on Liquid's end, and that's one of the few matchups the puck sort of struggles with. The DP should be a bit more manageable, and that should allow Liquid to find a better pace for their mid pickup.
Fair enough. Of course, I'm having a look at the offlane right now. Koifa going to be there on the Venomancer. Ooze is hanging around on the Earth Spirit, so it looks like they are going to attempt a first blood here onto the Veno. And of course, you may as well, because you've got MJZ here, you've got MNZ here, a lot of damage output, and there is a lot of potential for that first blood. But for now, looks like Koifa hasn't really shown himself. Tiger is also around on the Void Spirit, playing that pause 4 role. Neither showed themselves immediately, which does mean, of course, that the Earth Spirit is going to rotate back up. And in fact, Tiger, he's going to get a sentry rune from a sentry ward, excuse me, for himself immediately, and it's going to feel quite nice.
Yeah, just manages to get control back of the hard camp, or at least stop any sort of plays coming out. They did still block it, so you're not going to get value from the Venomancer, just clearing some large creeps as well. But the lane should hold steady. There's some aggression that can come out here from Liquid. Once you hit, say, a level 3 spike on Veno plus the Void Spirit, you can start playing around there. But you have to respect the power of the Raid King as well. Going for level 1 Vampiric means you're not going to be as aggressive, but you can hold steady, get your regen up. And once you've got Raid Fire Blast and the crit up, you can maybe look to close down, especially when you have the enchant slow ready.
Fair enough. Of course, looking over to the mid lane, you've got Mickey there up against Leo Style, and well, for now, Leo's having a really nice time, just 2 CS ahead of the puck. But more importantly, he has 5 denies already. So always good if you can try to get an XP advantage over the puck and make it that much harder. Though I might add, John, he'd never D-warded those wards, the mid lane, so there is a bit of potential loss there for Leo. Maybe he gets the sentry out a little bit later on, but at least for now, he's ignoring them completely.
Yeah, I don't think it's hurting him too much. It should open up some aggression for Liquid if they want to rotate. Issue is you're going to be trying to rotate on a CM or Void Spirit. And Void Spirit without levels is a bit harder to land that initiation, so have to watch yourself anyway. Leo Style, for the most part, despite this, is still building up that lead in the last hits, has a lot of denies under his belt. Mickey is, yeah, it's a puck. He's still holding steady. He has the CM aura to keep some mana regen up as well, so there's more uptime for that harassment. But so far, I'd say Thunder Predator are pretty happy with the result in mid. Gives us a chance to peek up in the top lane. You've got Frank once more in Beastmaster. He's got moves around on the Earth Spirit. Boxy is playing on that Weaver. He's got the Insania CM to help him out. And it's holding steady for the Weaver. Like, the Beastmaster doesn't really deal with Weaver all too well. Weaver can kind of clear out your boars from a safe distance. Once you have some Swarm up as well, you can start to chip away quite nicely. And there's not too much hold here from the side of Predator unless they want an attempt a roll with moves, but it's just so risky. If you get caught out, once a Frostbite is up, it's going to be really easy for Liquid to punish that sort of overextension.
Structures are fortified.
Mania being very careful here on the Crystal Maiden. He's trying to set up for that large camp pool. Ooze He's going to start rotating into the mid lane. Just at that 3.5 minute mark, it looks like he wants to try to kill off the puck. And in all fairness, Leo Style has been dominating this lane. And now they're going to roll in, but he's going to be off the mark. Boulder Smash going to be avoided. Leo's still going, but it's not going to be enough. 23 HP is what Mickey survives on. And had the roll or the Boulder Smash connected, that would have been a guaranteed death on the puck. But he does make it out. The problem being is he's not going to be able to get that power rune at this rate. They are all being secured by Thunder Predator. Luckily for him, it is just going to be an illusion rune, and he's still going to orb over, but he won't jaunt in.
Yeah, it's still a good movement out from Thunder Predator. I love the emphasis
lane.
mid. Oh.
MNZ, that's a massive pick-off, and Tiger manages to find it. They do get Koifa in the end. MJZ just chasing him down, but you've got to be happy if you're Team Liquid about that.
You slow down the Raid King, you prevent him from just having an overwhelming lane, keeping him in check. Helps out Boxy in playing catch-up here on the top lane as well in terms of core matchups. And that's really good abuse of knowing that the supports were not in position to save. So diving at the right time, preventing MNZ from just having that free lane is always good. It's still a Raid King, but you're at the point where the Raid King's slightly behind your support inch in terms of levels. Not a good sign. And Liquid's going to be very pleased with themselves with that pick-off. A lot of potential for aggression coming in. Bounty runes are going to come up, so your mid laners will have some free refills. But MJZ does manage to snag one away, so that's a bit of a boon there for Thunder Predator.
Certainly is. Still a 1-for-1, 5 minutes in. When you look at both drafts and you ask yourself, in fact, hold that thought, because Frank, top lane, he's going to be in danger. They got the Frostbite, roll, not going to be on target, but a nice kickback onto Frank. It's probably not going to be enough, however. Boxy gets the kill, and he might find a second as they do get moves. Boxy will go down to the creep wave in the tower. But it's a good amount of golden XP for the Weaver, and he's not going to be off the map for long.
And that's really good set of kills there for Boxy. He already has the Falcon Blade up, saving up to be really close to the Javelin. And once you have that, the Weaver right-clicks quite a fair bit. You can look for maybe a rotation to a side lane or the mid lane to look for a push and a kill. And that's going to be a major spike here from Liquid that Thunder Predator will have to be ready for. As you mentioned, their catch is not amazing. They're going to need Roar up on Frank to handle the Weaver really well. Until then, it's just going to be a crapshoot as to whether or not you can hold that hero down.
Tiger, he's being chased down now by Leo. Leo feeling very strong at that level 6 mark. He hasn't skilled up Exorcism yet. He's just holding out on that skill
Dire's
point.
bottom tower is under attack.
He's about to hit level 7 anyway. It doesn't really matter. I think he doesn't see the opening for a T1 push yet. And in all fairness, you do want to wait till your Beastmaster's online, and you look at Frank, he is, of course, it is a bit early for the Necro book to be up yet, so he does need a bit more time.
Yeah, they do manage to clear out the bot though, and they're jumping onto Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger, he's not level 6 yet, he's a sitting duck. MNZ's gonna rush in. Tiger, he's trying to survive, but they do secure the kill with the impetus shot. And that's one T1 they can get. MNZ just forcing it down with the rest of his supports. With that siege creep, just very easy once you've got the skeletons up.
It gives MNZ some safe space to farm and down bot, trying to save up for the Midas that we've seen some Raid Kings go for. As long as he finds it within the next 5 minutes, it's going to be really smooth riding for the Raid King to just build up. We're going to have to see what comes afterwards. Liquid, for their part, not too far behind, 3-3, 1k lead for Thunder Predator. They haven't made any moves on any towers yet, so we're going to have to see that come out soon. Boxy is flying at his javelin.
He just committed the orb to try and farm, and they're going to punish him immediately. That's a very nice rotation from MJZ and Moose, and with that now, of course, Exorcism still not skilled up, so they aren't going to be able to abuse that, but they have the skeletons, they have maximum spirit siphons, so they can just dive the T1 tower, and Insani is gone.
Dire's middle tower is under
In
attack.
T1 now, there's just no chance of survival here.
Dire's
Oh, I
structures
love
The
this.
skeletons, they're just asleep.
Yeah, that is not how you'd expect it to work, but they do turn around now, so they can start to shove in a bit. Mickey is here to defend. They're not going to be able to do as much, but you can see mid-tier 1 down to less than half. A really good progress here for Thunder Predator. Love the early aggression from MNZ. He knows he's way too tanky to burst down just yet. his Midas is inching closer as well, so despite being active on the map, he's still finding that steady build-up on farm. Liquid, they've already got the Javelin up in Boxy. He's not leaving his lane though. Maybe needs to get some more activity on the map, but right now Liquid are just happy to play as 3 or 4. Buy the space out for the Weaver to finish the Maelstrom first. And again, that's going to be a major damage spike here for Liquid once that is up and running.
If those skeletons actually moved, they probably would have committed for the T1 mid tower. Bot lane Koifa is going to be in danger now. They don't have a roll on moves, so he's going to be able to walk away. Liquid, they were moving in to help Koifa out, just in case. Okay, everything is going to be just fine.
Yeah, it frees up the
mid lane again.
That's just a
really abusing the rotations from Liquid, but now here they come. Boxy is in with the Weaver. MJZ going to hang around on the enchant to try and help out. Coil has been snapped. He's still alive, but not for long. Tiger ensures they get the kill. Onto the Enchantress now, and MJZ. Well, there's nowhere to run. He's going to try to deny himself to the neutral creeps, but it's not going to work out. And Liquid do successfully defend that mid tier 1 a second time.
Yeah, great holdout from Liquid. Getting that early rotation now from Boxy is big. Very close to that Maelstrom. Just from that set of kills, about 20 gold off, so he's going to be up and running on the Weaver around the 10-minute mark. Very nice for him. Unfortunately, the tier 1 isn't in the Nye range, so there's still an opportunity for Thunder Predator to find that gold, find that control. The top lane's been shoved in by Frank as well, has that Necronomicon 1, so he's also making use of that space quite nicely, and there is some movement out here from Thunder Predator. There's a bit of a smoke out on moves.
They've got the roar up on Frank, and they want to abuse it immediately, even if it's just Insania. Anyone dying is good for Thunder Predator right now, because they can go right into the tier 1, and they do go now with a great boulder smash onto 2. Silence out, Moose doesn't have a follow-up roll yet, but they should have the control onto Insania to make sure they get the kill. But now onto the puck, the silence, the roar out. They're going to find a secondary. Mickey being caught. They'll try to turn now. Leo style, though, he's just too healthy. Keep healing up, Tiger. He'll be the third to go down, and Thunder Predator
Radiant structures are
just so dominant already throughout this early game. Are going to be able to secure the top tier 1 tower. And Liquid, they just don't have an answer yet.
No, and they're trying to use this space for Koifa to get that farm going. He can't really shove in the tier 1 by himself that well. He's got level 3 Plague Wards, which are tanky, but it's just not as quick as a Necronomicon. They're still saving up farm on Boxy, trying to rush the Sange next for some durability. And at the least, Boxy doesn't die. But losing your puck is big. It slows down the pace for Mickey. He is trying to save up for the Witchblade, but it doesn't feel like it's coming out fast enough. And Thunder Predator are using this space really well. 1k lead up, not massive. 8-5 at the 11.5-minute mark. But MNZ has been allowed to AFK farm once again. And we saw what happened last time on the Terrorblade. This time with his fast Midas on the Wraith King going into the Radiance. If he comes out 20 minutes with a Radiance up, and even sub 20, then this is going to be a massive issue for the game plan of Liquid.
I do agree, and he just continues to just hang around in that jungle and keep farming up. No reason for him to get involved unless he absolutely has to. I was about to ask you, prior to that top engagement, you know, during the late game, who does this, which draft is more favorable? But I think we can both kind of agree that it might just be Thunder Predator. Because this Wraith King, it has so much scaling potential.
Yeah. It's just really hard to deal with. We've seen teams drag a game late against Wraith King and have a really hard time. It just has way too much durability on hand, can do so much damage as well. Now Koifa.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. Magnetized out into the silence, into the roll. All he can do is accept his death. He knows he can't outrun Thunder Predator here, especially with the Earth Spirit. And Moose is right out, back to the fountain to ensure he doesn't die. But you've got to tip before the TP completes.
Yeah, just lots of confidence now from Thunder Predator. You can tell from how they're playing. 2k up, 9-5. Liquid still trying to get that farm going. Boxy saving up for Yasha first instead. Again, just the build up into the SNY here. They have level 7 on Taiga. This is one thing with support Void Spirit as well that we didn't really mention. If you lag behind in laning, it feels like your impact isn't great. You're not going to be looking for a fast Ags timing because you don't have the space for it. Taiga only really has the Tranquil Boots. trying to save up for the Yules next for setup. It just, again, doesn't feel like you're getting there fast enough. And Liquid's slightly slower pace without taking any towers, it's starting to feel like it's costing them. They do at least have an early Hood of Defiance up on Koipka, so he can stand in front, cop the damage a bit better. But look at the Necronomicon timing here from Frank. He's got the level 3s up and they're smoked up here.
That's a very nice timing. Exorcism up as well. They could just go straight for the mid tower, but they want to try and maybe use the DP as bait to get a gank going. Instead, Frank, he's running straight down bot. He wants to find someone even more valuable. Boxy, that'd be a great target. Moves. Oh, he gets a silence off in time, but the roll is going to be off the mark. Boxy still sticking around. We'll throw the swarm out. Insane's going to be targeted. They get the poison over. Here comes Leo Style now, joining his team with the ulti. And Koipa, he will be the target. They'll roar him down. Tiger, however, doesn't get a trade. He finds MJC, and now Liquid. They're going to try and turn this. They got a big silence off, and they'll get the DP. Insania, even with the freezing field, but here comes MNZ now, getting the Crystal Maiden. But he's dropping quite low. He has the reincarnation up, and he'll lose his first line. Can they find him a second time?
Spicy.
Not quite. He's going to be all right. A 2-for-2 trade. Very even in terms of the heroes that did go down. Both position 3s and 5s being removed off the map. Liquid came out on top by about 84 gold, apparently.
Been a really good trade coming out for Liquid, although it's not done.
No, it is not. Bounty runes are about to spawn up. Mickey, he grabs one, puts it in the bottle. We'll go after Moose. They get the Earth Spirit. Onto Tiger now. Tiger's copping some big damage, and he's gonna die. +4 for +4 now. But Liquid, they might be able to keep going. They know the reincarnation's not up. Mickey's got Dream Coil and 20. But MNZ, realizing the danger, is gonna TP away from this team fight. And they can give Liquid this bottom tier 1 tower, John. They've already got the top tier 1 and they got the mid tier 1. There's no real reason to defend that bot tier 1 any longer.
No, it's been alive for way too long. Liquid, this is their first tier 1 tower to take, which is awfully slow. So they're gonna be happy enough to have it, although.
Now Frank almost. Rua is actually going to make it out in time. They might kill the puck. Mickey needs to ult out of there somehow. He'll try to juke. They'll chase him down. The ball slow is barely going to connect. He's under Hawk Vision. This is dangerous. MJZ, can he get an enchant? Not quite. Insania there with the Crystal Nova to slow him down. 12 to 9 now, very even in terms of net worth. Boxy has really been the saving grace of Liquid in this game too. Just holding on to that top net worth spot on the Weaver, and when you look at his farm, John, he is really starting to escalate.
Oh, that he is. He's almost at the point where he SMYs up. The Weaver becomes a lot tankier. The side of Thunder Predator have not been able to focus down Boxy. Boxy always comes in at the latter half of the fights. And by that point, they've already committed Roar to find a pick-off. MNZ can't really get his stuns off because of all the control they've got to follow up onto the Raid King. A lot of silences in play here. And it just becomes tricky when you throw in the Weaver into these fights for Thunder Predator. So they'll have to respect that. There's a lot of aggression now from Liquid. They do smoke up on tree.
They're going. Mid lane, it looks like they aren't confident to try and deal with Leo Style. They're down to the bot lane. They might find Frank, and that's just as good, quite frankly, getting that Beastmaster and stopping this pressure down to the bot lane. As now he does get spotted. 8th of Remnant, though, not going to be on the mark. They have the vision. They'll throw everything out but the coil. And Frank will have to accept his death. Very nice gank there from Team Liquid.
Yeah, just again, a great kill onto the Beastmaster, punishing him for being solo. That's a big change from game 1. We saw Frank just constantly pressure the top tier 2 without any punishment. This time, Liquid are ready to punish the Beast. They know the playstyle coming through. And Thunder Predator now, they're just going to have to concede those kills and keep building up on MNZ. Radiant's almost done on Raid King. That should put a dent in the damage output of Boxy, making him feel a little bit more worried up front if he's not careful.
Well, here we go. They found the pump. They got the silence. They got the roll in. But do they have enough locked out? Another silence, another roll. The magnetized refresh, but it is not enough. Mickey, he'll be fine as Boxy wants to go in. Time lapse right back out though. Bit of a warning shot there onto MNZ. Liquid, they get away with murder. That'll be good enough.
Yeah, it was such a good remnant coming out there from Taiga to intercept the Wraith King. They need MNZ to be able to stand in front, get the Wraith Fire Blast follow-up, but...
That's a big one. That is a very big target, and he is melting. Assuming they get the silence, they will be able to kill off the DP without those pesky heals flying out. And now MJZ getting jumped on. They know they can time him, and they're going to get another kill. The Enchantress to drop at Moose. He'll get the team fight started, at least taking down Tiger. Tips out again from Leo Styles. They roll back in. This time it won't connect, however, Moose. He's in danger. Frostbite is out, and Liquid, they'll punish the aggression now from Thunder Predator. And they will continue to try and push in this mid-tier 1.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get some good damage in now. They do have frag round respawns aren't that long. They should be able to put some effort in here as well for Thunder Predator if they want to contest. And Liquid will have to just sit back, knowing that the respawns are flying in. Thunder Predator fights are a bit shaky. Their initiations just all relying on really on moves to just land rolls, and it's really difficult when you have these highly mobile heroes up front. They need either him or Frank to start these fights.
Roshan.
Frank's still saving up for his blink, and they're just going to rush the Roche. They've got the power, they've got the Exo. Liquid, they're not quite ready. They don't have wards around the area as well on the pit.
Well, it's
So
very
they need to expend a scan.
It's very unexpected though, John. They just lost a team fight in the mid lane, so you wouldn't expect them to just rush the Roshan pit. When they do go for it, with that mid-tier 1 tower still standing, they can feel very safe in doing so. And Liquid now, seeing that, probably aren't going to feel too happy, especially considering MNZ is going to have 3 lives up.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough to deal with him twice over. 3 times is going to be a tall ask, and it's going to be really difficult to lock in the Wraith King. They should focus on everyone else. We've seen what happens when Thunder Predator loses one. If Leo Style or Frank drops, it just doesn't feel like there's enough for Thunder Predator to really turn things around. And Liquid can still abuse that. I mean, the one thing with the Wraith King is if you ignore him, then he's not really a factor right now. The damage output is nice, but not insane yet. And Liquid can just easily kite him around with all the heroes they have on hand.
Look at this, they want the Aegis gone immediately. Tiger, he's in, but the Aether Remnant not going to latch on. Still MNZ, he has time to get his team here. They should be able to get the Reincarnation life up first. MNZ, he'll lose the ulti, but his team is incoming. There's the rollout. They found the puck immediately with the Psalm, but he'll use it up. It's a Tiger instead. They'll find the Void Spirit. Now the runaway. Mickey still in danger. Leo can't stop him. They can turn up Koifa, slow him down, get the Venomancer kill, and it looks like they might just. A double kill for MNZ. He still holds on to the Aegis. And more tips are flying out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, all things considered, really good fight coming out for Thunder Predator, turning it around. Even Moose just barely living with 10 HP. They tried to keep the aggression in jungle, but without the Wraith King to deal damage up front, without the Roar, gonna be waiting a little bit longer still. Next fight for Thunder Predator. They've got the Blink Roar combo now from Frank. You can jump in, lock in either the Puck
Dire's
or the
middle
Weaver,
tower is
and
under
they can find a
attack.
follow-up easily. So they're not completely dependent on moves anymore. You can just start with a Beastmaster Roar, build off that way, and Liquid have to be a bit cautious. I don't think they saw that in the last fight. It's going to be a bit of a surprise for them if they don't notice it anytime soon.
They know now that they can't go into their own triangles. Thunder Predator will hold on. I love the fact that there's an Implore on MNZ to amplify his own crit with another crit. Always very nice to see for the Wraith King. And once that SNY is up, how do you deal with this Wraith King? You can get one life, sure, but with the Aegis, it just feels so impossible. They might have to try now. Moose, he gets caught out, but Leo Style does pop the ulti. He wants to go for the fight. Raw is there as well. They found Mickey. That's the one they want. The puck is gone. But Insania, freezing field moves. He's not going to be able to reach to stun him up, but it won't matter. They still get the CM kill, and Thunder Predator are just looking much stronger with this draft. They might try to pressure another tower now.
And they've got the power on hand. They still have Aegis running for about 2 minutes here. And of course, they have the Reincarnation back up. In fact, for MNZ, if he hits 18 before the next fight, that lower cooldown on Reincarnation. We've seen that ruin fights with an Aegis on hand as well. It's going to be really early timing for MNZ. 18 by 24 it looks like is going to be the timing, and that is just a lot for Liquid to have to contend with. Like, you're getting good farm on Boxy. The damage output isn't quite there. They need to find a way to get it up and running. You need to see Koivka land some pretty big Poison Novas and Gales to get that control out. But even then, by the second life, MNZ's not going to have to worry about any of that.
That's your tier 2 top tower gone. Outpost can now be taken for Thunder Predator. And that's almost going to guarantee they're in position for the next Roshan. In fact, they found Tiger. They'll get the silence out. And with the damage output from MNZ, it's all too much for Tiger. He's going to buy back. Do they really want to fight? There are 3 lives on MNZ, but they fought back. They need to commit. But Mickey, he's been caught out. He'll use up the silence. The roller will not connect, but he gets thrown up. Frank finds him. He gets the puck down. There's a buyback available. He won't commit, however. MNZ, he's been left behind. He could at least find the reincarnation, and they do. Secondary life is up now. This one will be the Aegis. They'll get it. Where's the help for MNZ? Still no buyback out from Frank. Leo Styles trying to make his way over, but MNZ now, he's still behind with the freezing field. He's going to go. So the buyback from Liquid does end up paying off from Insania. And Thunder Predator, they just could not make it in time to help out their Wraith King.
They had no TPs. They had to TP out that last fight to reset, and now they're going to be able to find that in the tier 1, although... Now Boxy, just playing tag a bit. Do find that key objective, making it worthwhile, but Liquid, without the buybacks, if the next fight doesn't line up for them, that could be a big opportunity for Thunder Predator to maybe look at the high ground, look at some more tier 2s to take out. Aurora is going to be up in 15 seconds. You can easily play around that timing, get the initial control once more, and clean up from there. There's also going to be this BKB being built up here by MNZ. So with the BKB up, that control, that damage they were having, it's not going to be there, and Liquid will have to watch that coming out here from MNZ. They're still getting some steady build up on Boxy. He's also saving up for his BKB, has the Mjolnir up for some additional damage and additional protection out with the active being dropped on to prevent some control. But it still feels like the Weaver itself is kind of lacking. They need these fights to drag on. They need to isolate the Wraith King to find the punishment. Outside of that, MNZ still has a lot of control in these fights. And he's just able to run around as the Wraith King really nicely as well.
Mid lane, Mickey, he's having to think about this. Just clear out the waves and back off. Frank, he'll go back for the outpost. You want to get prepared for that next Roshan now, Thunder Predator. While they lost that last team fight, they are still in a commanding position. So they're going to hold their ground. Liquid, they know the Roshan's not going to be up for at least another minute and a half. And that's when we'll find out when the Roshan will be up for sure. For now, they can sit back, relax, and try to come up with a bit of a game plan as to how they're going to deal with this next Roshan attempt. And I'll tell you what, John, it's not going to be much easier for them if Thunder Predator find another tier 2 tower, especially that mid one. But they've smoked up right behind MNZ. They'll ignore the tower. They want to go for a fight.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Koifa being very conservative, not showing himself, understanding that they may be trying to bait him in.
Yeah, and this is really suspicious, right? Like the bot wave is being shoved in with no response. Surely that means it's smoke, and they just play it safe. Liquid dodged out, but the mid tier 2 will fall. So as you mentioned, control is now looking really good for that next Roche fight here for Thunder Predator. Still have some time until we see that respawn. They can just easily keep that bot tier 2 shoved in though. They are getting that done just with Mickey and Tiger around to keep cutting off the creep waves. So they should be able to find the trade eventually. Liquid not too far behind once more. Less than 1k lead coming out from them. Very tight match between them and Thunder Predator so far. The BKB is almost up for MNZ. Of course, they've already got the BKB up and running on Leo style, so controlling down the DP is not going to be a thing anymore. That spell immunity up, but Boxy has his own BKB. So it's a lot of back and forth with the spell immunity. We'll have to see who makes use of those reveals better in the next engagement.
It's a long Roshan timer as well, John, 2.5 minutes. So that's great news for Liquid. Right now, I don't feel like they're as confident as they'd like to be. Of course, with that BKB on Boxy, things are going to change for sure in these team fights. They may have to prioritize Boxy with the Roar over the Puck. But at least with that Roshan being down for such a long time, you can just try to get that net worth going even further your way. The Predator, they're not backing off, just such aggressive positioning. Hawks to scout out, Tiger, he's actually going to be able to snipe it with the Aether Remnant. It's like Liquid just do not, oh actually that's a nice stun out, but there is no follow-up to it. So Liquid, they don't want to allow them to even have a chance to go high ground, because you've seen how fast the push is. And if they do get stuck up here, even if they have the high ground, it will be very dangerous.
Yeah, it's not a very safe spot for anyone up there. They do manage to run Boxy all the way across though, so you could look to maybe run in from the back now or just go back to farming. Really good position for the Weaver to take these fights. In fact, the smoke wrap around from Liquid could lead into a very good engagement for them as long as they find a high ground. Thunder Predator are on the other side of the map though, but we'll see if it lines up here.
They need to aim somebody apart from MNZ. They know this. If MNZ doesn't have a team around him, he's sitting dark. Quaver, they're going to break the smoke. MNZ going to be the one to do it. His team now going to back him up onto Tiger, but the Yules is out. Meanwhile, MNZ, his first life is gone. Danger for Thunder Predator, but they're going to move in anyway. They're just going to go straight in onto Quaver. The Venom, Poison Nova will fly out, but it's not going to be good enough. Into Boxy, he gets roared up. Still not good enough, though. He's going to be just fine. Now Boxy, he'll chase down MNZ. Meanwhile, on the other side, they are going after the Beastmaster with the coil. Insania does die on the CM, still trying to control this puck, but he's going to be just fine. Mickey making his way out, but how far can he go? Meanwhile, Tiger dies to MNZ. This puck just all over the place, will not die. And now Boxy comes right back in. Onto Moose, they'll get the Earth Spirit, or maybe not Moose. He does drop, but at what cost? They found the Weaver. A triple kill out for the Wraith King now. MNZ continues to move forward. Mickey trying to find some trades. He might get Frank, or maybe not. The right click not going to be enough. The stun is going to be avoided. The Yules is there. Mickey, how long can you really survive like this? I'm not sure he has much longer, and he does it. An ultra kill out for MNZ. And John, Roshan has respawned just in the nick of time if Thunder Predator want to make their way over, and I'm sure they do.
Oh, this is just going to be such a good Roach for them to take. Aegis Cheese on hand. Liquid, they really tried in that fight. They find the supports, but nothing else. And you can see how brutal MNZ is up front now. He's just so tanky. His BKB just gives him so much more. When they see Boxy use his BKB on the Weaver, you roar him up. And that's going to be 5 seconds of spell moves gone. He couldn't do as much with that BKB as he'd want to. And that just means Liquid have to be very careful with how they break out these fights. As long as Frank is there with a Roar on any BKB target, that just takes away the potency of that item for a lot of the heroes here on the side of Liquid. And, you know, MNZ, what is spider legs? It's almost like you have a Giant's Ring, right? Like you pop it on with a screen, free padding for 3 seconds. You can't really juke around whether or not you're a Puck or a Void Spirit. He's just going to be able to chase you down as long as you're close enough. And it just makes it so much harder to kite around a Wraith King. It's just not shaping up anymore. MNZ is just able to run around with a BKB, with those spider legs. They can't run away from this guy.
I 100% agree with that, John. He's even got the phase boot, so there's really nothing blocking him. There's so much phasing for this Wraith King. And, well, MNZ, he has an Aegis. He has 3 lives again. He's not going to wait for that level 25 timing, but rather just go high ground and start the pressure. Roar out, Frankie found Quaver, but a 4-star is going to save the day. Still Tiger now, jumping in. They frostspun up the Wraith King, but MNZ is not in that much danger. He'll be just fine, or maybe not. Another frostbite is out now. They get the first life. And they hold him down again. Aether Remnant will get started. MNZ now, BKB right into Quaver. They want the Veno dead, and don't get him. No buyback. Onto the tier 3 tower.
What is He's doing? They just stand around sometimes. They need to hit those towers, man.
Wake him up, John. Boxy trying to chip away at the HP pool of MNZ, but he's almost got Reincarnate back up. He just needs 8 seconds. Dreamcaller going to be in time. They can get the Aegis, and they do. Tiger, the one to get it. Onto Leo. He's forced to cheese up. MNZ, however, reincarnation now back up and available. They frostbite him again. They just hold him down. Boxy, stun, long, everything connecting perfectly. They found the Weaver. No buyback again on the side of Liquid. Onto Tiger now. He's dropping very low, trying to use himself up and just trying to survive. But MNZ's on the case. Now Frank right in with the Raw, just screaming at Mickey, and they'll get another. 2 buybacks have been expended. That's all Liquid have. But they've already lost the racks. It does not seem like they're going to be able to punish Thunder Predator on their way out. Thunder Predator, they're not backing out. They're going back in. They've got another reincarnate in 10 seconds. They know the buybacks are missing on Liquid. Boxy has not fought back. He's so much gold behind.
This is just ridiculous. Look at MLC just ripping through the AC. There's not much
Megas here. Yule's gonna juke out the Wraith Fire Blast. Tiger gonna astral step away before the sounds came in. That looks like it's gonna be Megas. They've got Boxy up in 15 seconds along with Insania, but it's gonna be a bit too long. They're gonna have to try and defend up against Megas, it looks like, unless Thunder Predator decides to start a fight. Dream Coil. Reincarnation will go down again. He'll be back though. Megas are up as well. Tiger, they're going to start a fight. They want to finish off this game. MNT right in onto Quaitbot. That'll be Eveno dead. The bash is a bit too much. Boxy right in, man fighting MNT. It's not a great idea. The Raw was available. They'll get the Weaver. There's no buyback. That has to be GG. And Liquid calling Thunder Predator. They will start off their group stage with a 2-0 victory over the side of Team Liquid. And I know we said this earlier on, John. I don't think many people were expecting this kind of result in the first series, but that's a great performance out